Welcome back to the Skin Deep podcast, where we review too good, too crazy, too ugly tattoos. Sometimes the crazy are actually good tattoos. They're just maybe non-traditional subject matter. And I also like to say, as far as the bad tattoos, we're not shit talking real tattooers. We're talking about tattoos that were done by kitchen wizards or back alley people. So don't worry, no shit talking going on here about anybody legitimately trying to build up their chops. But let me introduce, or let my guest critiquer introduce himself.
Krooked Ken from
Go ahead, Krooked Ken.
Black Anchor Tattoo in Denton, Maryland.
Appreciate you joining me on the critique. Let's get to it, brother, because I know you got a busy day being a shop owner and a tattooer. We'll start with the good. The first one I wanted to put up just because American traditional is your style. I thought this thing was nailed perfectly. I like the composition. I like how it rolls and fits the shoulder.
That's a great shoulder topper. It's that's fantastic. That's a really nice tattoo.
I like how they chose to have the flower facing down.
Yeah. Very
that
good.
was that and their choice of yellow, just in that seam in the leaves, and then just that pinch of yellow in the rose to kind of just tie it all in together. I thought was a pretty clever idea coming off that black.
Yeah, and also the stem is like what would remind me of a more realistic style of stem that fits perfectly with a super traditional rose.
Yeah, I thought that was executed well. Fills that gap in perfectly. Yeah. Wanted definitely, obviously, your opinion on that. We're gonna go full 180 on the next good one. I follow this guy. This lettering, the dude's lettering is amazing, and doing it negative space, it blows my mind. I wouldn't know where to start to design this tattoo, and it fits the head perfectly, I think.
Yeah. That's insane. That's that's the kind of stuff I just would. If that guy was in my neighborhood, that I'd just send it down there. Why even attempt it to make myself look bad? You know what I mean? Like,
yep,
that is incredible.
Yeah,
and I love seeing
that guy's skills.
I love seeing stuff like that because it just really is different. Well, I mean, social media, you see a lot of that stuff, but I don't see that stuff walking around my neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's nice to see that stuff.
Yeah, and it's cool to, again, go to like where tattooing has evolved. Like, when we started 30 years ago, that wouldn't have even entered our brains.
No.
That could be a tattoo.
Yeah. That I would think of something more along like a I don't, what do you want to call, like the wrought iron artwork, you know what I mean? That used to be on the gates and all that stuff in the Victorian times. That's just the kind of feel it has.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. And this guy is who does it, and Sam Taylor Tattoos. Let's give him credit, and make sure that Tattoo Rich also gets credit for that great traditional. Tattoo Rich, if you're watching, Krooked Ken just gave you a huge compliment. Send him a shout out. Yeah. Next up, we got Crazy. We'll start with the unicorn. So, I heard recently that dolphins do rape other dolphins and other sea life, which I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it a couple times. So I don't know if that's the
That's why I don't
know if
surf.
that's I don't know if that's the genesis of, well, if dolphins are rapists, I want a unicorn to rape a dolphin. But yeah, that's some wild shit that somebody's wearing on themselves permanently.
Indeed, they are. That's yeah. That's You know what though? It's sometimes that stuff happens. You know, when you get people just trying to outdo each other. When they're like, "Well,
Yep.
what's the craziest thing you can come up with?" And, well, I don't know. What can you come up with? Because they.
Oh, I always want to know what.
With,
I want to know the backstory. Is this the tattooer's idea? Is this the collector's idea?
You may not want to know the backstory.
Also, I just assumed it's rape. This very well may be love and consensual. So I will put that out there. Maybe no dolphins were harmed in this tattoo.
Right. Oh, Lord.
Next one is actually, again, a pretty kind of is a good tattoo. I just want to know who came up with the skeleton sitting in an armchair, lighting a fart on fire.
Yeah, that's they certainly didn't get that out of like a medical book or anything, I don't think.
Right.
But I mean, it's executed perfectly though. I mean, there's no doubt what's going on.
Yep.
It's a great tattoo.
No. Yeah, no, with the stipple shading and everything, like this is a really good tattoo. Like this guy's style. Just again, a very non-conventional tattoo. I'm kind of jealous of it. Like, I'm like, I think I kind of want something lighting a fart on fire now tattooed on me.
I bet a dolphin.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And then next up, we get to our piece de resistances, the ugly.
Oh wow, nailed it.
We'll start with yep. We'll start with the portraits. First thing that comes to mind, well, there's a lot of firsts. The choice of the 4 portraits.
Right.
We've got the Joker, Jesus, I'm guessing a lion, and maybe Chewbacca.
I'm thinking, why did you go back after the first one?
I also noticed, speaking of that he has a bandage with tape and saran wrap on his arm, which means he is back for yet another tattoo.
Oh yeah.
So he continues to go to this artist. There's not much to say other than this thing is just terrible in every single way. Yeah.
But that dude's probably tickled shitless. Because he keeps going back.
Yep. Now this one I brought up in particular because it's not necessarily what I want to say ugly, but I thought you would be, because of what we were talking. And folks, if you haven't listened, we did a full podcast with Krooked Ken, and he is an American traditionalist. And we go into placement of color and where to leave open skin and tattoos that last 25 years later, and you still know what it is. And that's why I wanted to bring this one up, because this is a classic case of what looks good now and how it ages. And we can see that this is 6 years old, and we've moved to the what is it, as opposed to when they walked out of it fresh. How often do you have these conversations, and do you have any pictures like this in your phone? I do, to kind of show people when they want something really confusing and say, hey, this, I can execute this and it's going to look great today, but this is what it's going to look like. And do you have to have these conversations with with some of your clients?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny you bring this up because I tattoo a lot of collectors and a lot of other tattooers. And I am seeing a huge, with the trend that's happening right now with these heavy black images, these heavily black tattoos. Um, you see the ones like the snarling Doberman, that image.
Yep.
And it seems like there's like a competition of who can make theirs the blackest. And I'm seeing this stuff because now that's been going on since before COVID. So, 7, 8 years ago that started. Now I'm seeing it come into the shop on these guys, and I'm tattooing them, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, another 2 or 3 years, you're not even going to tell what that is.
Yeah.
They're putting it's amazing imagery, but as the body ages, we can't prevent ourselves from getting old. It's going to happen, and I just that those things are no different than a 1,000 lines in a feather, how it's going to blob together. So is that traditional tattoo if you oversaturate black,
Right. And that's a good point too. Yeah. So yeah, I specifically wanted to bring this up just because, like you said, your style in 25, 30 years, you're still going to know that it's an aviator woman or a Jesus or
it's
just a simple rose.
you gotta play the third black, third color, third skin.
Yep. Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, that's a gorgeous tattoo in 2017.
Yeah. Yeah.
They nailed it. They executed it so well. It's just a shame that when you go something like that, that's how it ends up aging. So
And
people watching this, listen to your artists.
Yeah, your client's a living, breathing organism as well. I mean, so you have people that gain lots of weight really fast. You have people lose lots of weight really fast. That also affects this stuff when the dermis and epidermis start to spread.
Yep. Yeah. So that wraps up the good, the crazy, the ugly. Wish that guy with the back piece the best of luck. Thanks for joining me, amigo. For those who want to get in touch with you and get some nice, solid American traditional tattoos that are going to last a lifetime, that you can see a country mile away and know exactly what it is, even 25 years later, how can they get hold of you?
You can hit me at crookedken@gmail.com, Krooked Ken on Instagram, or Krooked Ken, crookedken.com, and blackanchortattoo.com.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you taking time out this morning, and I hope you have a fantastic day at the shop, brother.
You too, man. Thank you so much for including me.